Diane McSiver. Diane, Tex's wife, is a 46-year-old woman. Van Tex Micker is a man about 50 years old, with a muscular physique and a well-dressed style. Court witnesses and lawyers argue under the bright lights of the courtroom. Socialite wife shot in car by high-powered attorney. Husband accident or murder. Tex McSiver is a well-known lawyer and the vice chair of the Georgia State Election Board. His reputation precedes him in the legal community, where he's respected for his sharp intellect and influence. Diane, his wife, is equally remarkable, a dynamic business executive who built her success from the ground up. She's not just known for her business acumen, but also for her extraordinary generosity, often reaching out to those in need. Together, they embody a power couple, owning a sprawling farm in Putnam County, Georgia, and a lavish weekend retreat in the upscale suburb of Buckhead, Atlanta. Their lives, filled with success and wealth, seem picture-perfect to outsiders. In December 2011, Tex borrowed $350,000 from his wealthy wife, Diane. The money was due back with interest in December 2014. However, Tex still failed to repay the loan by the due date. Diane, out of love, gave her husband a 3-year extension until December 2017. But time seemed to have no way to save Tex from financial trouble. The burden of debt weighed heavily on him, causing tension in their relationship. Diane may have begun to doubt Tex's ability to repay the money, and the arrangement may have become an unbearable burden. Tex felt trapped, and the fear of losing the respect of his wealthy wife, combined with the financial pressure, caused him to change. On a normal day in September 2016, a tragedy occurred in the Oconee Lake area. Tex McSiver and his wife, Diane, had just finished a leisurely day of golf at the Reynolds Golf Club, a popular hangout for the powerful. They were joined by their longtime friend, Danny Joe Carter, for a light post-golf party. During the party, Tex drank, sipping each glass in a relaxed atmosphere. Danny Joe happily enjoyed the party but did not drink. She offered to drive Diane and Tex home. Diane sat in the front seat next to Danny Joe, while Tex sat in the back. They began their journey home, but to their surprise, Danny took a detour. Tex fell asleep peacefully in the back seat. When he woke up, he said Danny Joe was driving through a dangerous neighborhood. To ease his anxiety, Tex asked Diane to hand him a small .38 caliber pistol from the center console. Gun in hand, he fell asleep again. A moment later, a loud gunshot woke Tex up in a panic, but it was easy to see that the gun had gone off while Tex was holding it. Diane, sitting in the front seat, collapsed and bled from the gunshot wound. Tex directed Danny Joe to the emergency room. But strangely, instead of going to the nearest hospital, they drove to Emory Hospital, 5 miles away. They did not call 911, a decision that was confusing and suspicious. Tex said they did not want to waste time and believed that Emory Hospital was the best in the Southeast. At the hospital, Tex appeared remarkably calm. He asked Danny Joe to slow down and be careful as he entered the emergency room. There might be people walking around with strollers, Tex said, showing an odd concern that was completely unlike someone who had just caused his wife's death. According to hospital surveillance video, Tex waved goodbye to Danny Joe and walked into the emergency room. These actions were in stark contrast to the events they had just experienced. The most shocking thing, however, was when Tex pulled Danny Joe aside, out of earshot of the police. "I hate to have you dragged into this," he asked Danny Joe to lie to the police and say she was just a friend coming to support the family. When Danny Joe refused, Tex appeared calm and slightly intimidating, his voice low. "They won't know about this." By the time Diane was wheeled into the emergency room, it was too late. Diane, in a dying state, had no chance of being saved. She was taken to the emergency room, but her condition was too serious. Doctors tried their best but could do nothing. Before she died, Diane told the doctors that her husband did not mean to shoot her. She insisted it was an accident. Her final words added to the complexity of the case. Police and the public were shocked by the unexpected events and contradictory details in the story. Questions about motive, the truth of the accident, and the strange decisions of Tex and Danny Joe became the focus of the investigation. After Diane's death, all suspicion fell on Tex. The gun, which Tex claimed had gone off after hitting a red light, became the focus of the investigation. But the question was that guns cannot go off without being triggered by the user. This led investigators to suspect that Tex had been dishonest. Despite their suspicions of Tex, investigators did not have enough evidence to convict him. The police continued to investigate, looking for new leads. Meanwhile, Tex acted suspiciously. Just 2 months after Diane's death, he held a major auction of his wife's luxury possessions. Thousands of items, from luxury clothing to expensive jewelry, were put up for auction. Tex's attorney justified the auction as a way to provide cash to the people Diane had named in her will. However, this action only raised more suspicions about Tex's true motives. Why did Tex rush to sell his wife's prized possessions so soon after her death? Everything Texas did, from selling the property to his ambiguous statements, raised questions about the truth behind Diane's death. In early 2018, the Tex Micker case became the focus of public and media attention. Tex was charged with murder, along with several other charges including witness tampering and assault with a deadly weapon. The trial was riveting as the horrific details of the case were revealed. During the trial, Danny Joe was the only key witness other than Tex who was in the car when the shooting occurred. She shed light on the horrific moments, revealing Tex's cool composure immediately after the shooting. She also revealed that Tex had asked her to lie to the police, in a clear attempt to cover up the truth. Suspicions of an extramarital affair also surfaced during the investigation. Authorities discovered that Annie Anderson, a fitness trainer and massage therapist, had a special relationship with Tex. Annie was with Tex just 1 day after Diane's death, raising suspicions of a romantic relationship. However, in court, Annie denied all accusations, asserting that she was just someone who cared about Tex's health and spirit during difficult times. Throughout the lengthy trial, prosecutors repeatedly emphasized Tex's financial motive, that he would immediately receive more than $1 million from the insurance and become the primary heir to Diane's multi-million-dollar estate. They alleged that Tex had planned to kill his wife to escape massive debt and keep their lavish ranch. After weeks of deliberation, the jury finally returned a verdict. Tex Micker was convicted of murder, a huge shock to many who had admired and respected him. With this verdict, the story of a powerful lawyer who had once stood at the top of society now ended in guilt and disgrace. The Tex McIver case sent shockwaves through the Atlanta legal and business community. Those who knew Tex and Diane were shocked by the brutality of the fact that such a respected man could be involved in such a horrific crime. As Tex began serving his sentence in prison, millions of dollars of Diane's assets were divided up, and her former friends and family could not believe that Tex had so brutally betrayed their trust. The Tex Micker case is a tragic tale of power, money, and betrayal. It is a painful reminder that sometimes the people we trust the most are the ones who cause the most harm. While Tex Micker faced the wrath of the law, Diane McIver's legacy lives on as a symbol of kindness and tireless service to the community. Don't take your eyes off the screen because we have many other dramatic cases for you to watch. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, and follow the channel to support us. See you again in the next video.